A very warm welcome on a brand new episode of your now favorite show, Hashtag Showbiz, with me, Usha, only on Indus TV. Like I always say, everything that happens here does not stay here, comes right back to you. Yes, what are we going to be doing today? Yeah, you're probably wondering, this looks a little different. Yes, it's going to be the new year, right? It's one of the new year episodes coming up. And one thing that we always do in the new year, what is it? We try to come up with resolutions or goals for the year, and we try to see it fail by February or March. Is that no, no, no? We're not going to do that because this is a brand new 2021. Are you guys ready to talk about your resolutions and goals? I have my good friends on our show today, and they will be talking about their goals and resolutions. And I would love to hear from you as well. Please put your goals and resolutions in the comments. Welcoming a very good friend of mine for, I think, maybe a decade or so, Venky, RJ Venky.
Woohoo! Hi Usha, hello, and it's so good to be on your show, Showbiz. So I'm really glad that you invited me, and happy to be here.
It is an honor, Venky, to have you on Hashtag Showbiz. It's long due. We've been doing radio for a long time. I think it's probably 10 years or more. What do you say?
I would say, yeah, at least 10 years that we've done radio together, but way more than that, I guess. You've been doing music for much longer, I think.
Yes, music and radio. Yes, and that's what actually bonded us together. And we've been having fun on the radio. And now we've been doing, thanks to 2020, we've been doing a lot of videos. And now we're doing TV as well. So awesome to have you here. We're definitely going to be talking about goals and resolutions. So get ready because we're going to be chatting with two other people as well. Are you ready to meet the other two?
Can't wait.
Okay,
Bring
so
them on.
yes, awesome. So we're going to get ready to invite another good friend of mine. I have to say, I actually discovered her. I'm going to use the word discovered, met her during the pandemic, and it's been a beautiful friendship since. And she is amazing lady. She's a very kind soul, beautiful soul, inside and out. And you'll get to see when I introduce her. So, Dolly.
Hi, Usha. Thank you for having me on your show today. Definitely a pleasure to meet you during the pandemic. I think we were chatting like well before that, but we finally got to meet up during the pandemic and it was great, right?
Yes.
We actually met the first time doing the breast cancer runs.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then, of course, coffee and chats all along.
I know. And you know what? You're looking at Dolly. She's so beautiful. She's wearing a gorgeous dress. I need to tell you, she is an Amazon influencer. She has to get on their Amazon account and be able to influence you all because she finds the best finds on Amazon from a sports bra to a sari. What do you say, Dolly?
It's definitely versatile, isn't it? When you have so many things you have to do, right? Being like ethnic, like Indian, and then you work out, and then you also work, and having to be on the camera like this, right? For work or anything, you have to find like all types of clothes. And who had the time to go shopping? Malls were shut down. So you learn that you have to buy things on Amazon. And lucky for us, we can always try it on, and if it doesn't fit well or if you don't like the way it looks, you return it, and they've made it so simple. So yes, Amazon all the way.
There you go. She goes advertising Amazon already. I'm going to talk to them and really see that we can get you on an influencer. So, Dolly, we're going to be talking about goals and inspirations, and I'm sure you have some interesting goals for 2021 or in life, I would say. I'm ready to introduce my friend. And if I use the word pagla kahin ka divana, it's not going to work. I have to use the word पागल ये लड़का बिल्कुल पागल है. Yes, I'm talking about my partner in crime on the Pagla Pagli show, RJ Toy.
ये लड़का पागल है पागल है पागल है पागल है ये लड़का पागल है पागल है पागल है.
Yay! What's up, man?
Hey, Usha. How are you?
I'm good, yaar. अभी भी पागलपंती तो कम ही नहीं हुई है.
Well, it's great to be on your show again. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good.
Hey, and hi, Venky. Hi, Dolly. How are you?
Hey, Ty.
Quick question, Dolly. How much did
See
Jeff
you.
Bezos pay you for that line? How much did Jeff Bezos pay you for that line?
I wish. I don't even have his stock. So
But
I
it's divorced now, right? So just so you know, FYI.
We need to make Jeff know that Dolly exists and she's been influencing Amazon, and we need to get her there. Yes, we definitely have to do that. Should be one of our goals for 2021, guys. What do you say?
What, to get Dolly hitched to
Don't
Jeff?
shake your hand on it.
I'll take that too.
And we can celebrate a private jet wedding, you know?
Oh,
Anything
that
works.
sounds good.
No marriage, but I'll fly around on the jet.
Awesome. A very happy new year to each
New
and
Year.
every one of you.
Happy New Year to you too.
Cheers.
And to all the viewers.
Was that cup from Amazon too?
No, actually. Should I
Just
say?
checking.
Should I say it was? Just
Just
in case.
All right.
I doubt it.
I match it. See, I actually have a tea bag to prove it too, Dolly.
Well, I took mine out, but it is herbal tea.
And you know, in the pandemic, we've been hearing of people at work who have the tea bag hanging out, but they have liquor inside, and they're in video conferences.
That's why I asked.
More power to them, man. Maybe they are able to work better, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that's what you call business with pleasure.
Okay, awesome. So, like we said, these are the friends that are going to be on our show today. We're going to be talking about fun stuff that we did. Each and every one of us, A-type personality, we definitely use the pandemic to our own. Each and every one of the friends here are A-type personality, and they have used the pandemic to the maximum. So we're going to chat a little bit about what we learned about the pandemic, because we don't have all of 2020 to talk about it. But we're going to talk quickly on what we did on 2020 pandemic. What did we learn? And then we'll move on to some fun stuff. What are you guys ready?
Can't wait. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so Toy, let's go to you. What did you do in 2020? Okay,
Well-
there's a filter here. Okay, there's a filter when you talk.
Well, I pretty much sat on this chair. This chair and I got married, you know, like in the sense that we all learned metaphorically that, you know, people had to say that, you know, working from home is not something which is possible. We've actually shown the whole world that commerce, lives, and everything can go on from your home, and you can be as productive working from home as you are meeting in person. I mean, consider the fact that almost 2 to 3 hours of your day goes in getting ready, go for work, driving to work, and coming back. You realize they can actually be at home. And, you know, if you're a parent or if you are a husband or a wife, 80% of your duty is done if you're just physically there, you know? I mean, you don't have to be talking to your kids. You don't have to be with your dog. Just physically you're there. I mean, I went for my annual checkup recently, and my doctor was saying that a lot of his patients have said that they are actually happier and they found their, you know, work very productive. Now, it's easy for me to say this, but people who are in industries where you
Hang on one second. Are you saying this because your wife is going to be listening to this, so you want to be happier at home?
no, in fact, the thing is, well, how do you know she's not standing behind the camera right now? And that's why I'm behaving myself.
Ah, gotcha.
No, but I'll tell you.
You've been a good boy.
Well, I got a lot done during the pandemic. I really got a lot done.
Working a lot, partying less. Oh my God, that's not the toy, I know.
No, I did party on the slide, you know. If you were my favorite,
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about.
Virtual
But
party.
only with friends who were like Venky wearing the masks.
In
Yes.
your bubble.
In my bubbles of bubbles.
Awesome. What about you, Venky?
Well, like you rightly said, and even Toy alluded to this, I learned. And when I say I learned, I literally studied and wrote an exam and got myself a license, and I completely changed my career. So I literally, after being in one industry in one field for 30 years or something, or 25 years, I decided the pandemic year 2020 was was a pivotal year, and I said I'm going to change things around, and I really did. So
Awesome.
we haven't studied and written an exam and passed it in 20 years.
And
Believe me.
passed it.
Your teachers are going to be thankful. They'll be like, see?
So yeah, so it really helped. And the reason it helped was because there was less distraction. There was no going out. There was no socializing. There was no partying. There was no
Yeah.
going to a bar and drinking and nothing. So you just sat home. And luckily, I was able to harness my focus and attention and get stuff done. So this was really
Right.
good from that perspective.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
that
very
means you pivoted, right? You pivoted for your life and you got into, a different career. That's huge. And many people, I heard many people were able to, do that. So I think that's pretty commendable, Venky. And you did a lot, even with your radio as well. You took it to an online platform. So that was amazing. Really nice. Good.
Great. Actually, this also that part of it also really picked up very nicely because
Mhm.
we used the pandemic as the base for doing the show. Really, we started
Right.
doing the show, bringing in celebrities and raising funds and helping people on the ground in India, in Chennai, from where I come, especially people in the arts. Musicians who were not able to earn anything because
Right.
there was no
Mhm.
stage performance, there was no recordings, so they had no income literally, and they were all in the bottommost ring of the ecosystem. If they don't go for a stage show or for a recording, they don't get money, and if they don't get money, they can't put food on the table for the family. So we literally helped more than 100 musician families like that by raising funds and helping them with the groceries and stuff like that, medicines.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. That's good. And Dolly too. Dolly had a interesting time during her pandemic. So can we chat on what you did as well, Dolly?
Okay, so some of this was absolutely not a change for me, right? I've been working from home for 10 years now, so that was not a change.
Lucky you.
Well, sometimes I crave that social factor to go out and meet people and actually interact face to face. But so the one thing that did change is my daughter was now doing school from home.
Mhm.
And we had to compete for the space. She was in her room and I was downstairs, and everybody, they got the inspiration to make a new workspace at home, and we set her room up so that she can do her schooling. But one of the things that I actually appreciated was she started middle school this year.
Right.
And middle school is just one of those times where the kids are growing, and it's almost like a little science experiment. The kids are going through puberty, and they're going through all these changes, like temperamental and mentally and everything, right? And so she's not actually facing these challenges with the kids and her peers. I do love for her to socialize, but I also see that I feel like a lot of the children are actually protected from bullying and the
Right.
peer pressures that they would face going to school. And she's actually doing really well. Like, I know it was a challenge for teachers and the school systems and everybody as well. But she's actually doing very well. And like Toy had said, it's definitely very apparent that we can reduce the footprint of people actually going into the workplace or going to places where they're not really physically needed there. And we
Right.
can actually do this from home. And it seems that people are much, much more productive. The other thing is gyms were shut down, restaurants were shut down, right? So I love my fitness. I have to stay healthy. We all found different ways to stay fit. I took all my fitness outdoors while the weather was nice, and I created a gym space now that the weather is cold again.
Right.
Gyms are open, but I still don't feel safe going.
Yep.
I'm also a little asthmatic. I get asthma when I exercise, so I can't wear a mask when I exercise. So I just have to, it's better to do it in my own comfort
Right.
of my own home. The other thing was I had gotten passports. So I finally got converted to liberal leave with work, and I was super, super excited to travel with
Right.
my daughter. And then the pandemic happened and everything got shut down. Literally, like the passports were in motion and everything got shut down. And so now I have like this budget that I was going to spend on travel. And instead, I decided I'm going to redo my backyard and make it like a nice oasis, somewhere where we can hang out because we're stuck at home, right? So you find ways to make things better for you at home. But I think a lot of people experience like just newness, this new normal.
That's awesome. I think definitely you said it, the new normal. And like Toy was saying, this is probably an eye opener for all the companies to say, do I really need to have those high-rise buildings and pay that kind of rent for these for the work that was done amazingly well, right? All the companies did really well, especially with the IT companies. They had good growth as well. So I think it's really good.
Dolly, when you're traveling, if you made this budget, if you need a coolie, you always know where to find me, right? You seem to have made a big war chest, and I'll be happy to just carry the luggage around.
My goal is to actually travel as light as possible. I want to go somewhere where all I need is my bathing suit and suntan lotion.
That's it.
But Usha, coming to you, what did you do in the pandemic year during the lockdown? Did you have any new things happen to you? Did you change stuff around?
The first few weeks, I'm a person who needs to have people around. I go crazy when I can't be with people. Like I have a schedule in the week where 2-3 days I have to go out. I have so many friends. I meet them on a weekly basis, and I started missing that. I kind of got depressed and I was like, shoot, what do I do now? I mean, work was keeping me busy, of course, but I needed to, and I'm super busy as it is, and I needed to become busier because events stopped, right? We used to do the events. So events stopped and I was like, what do I do now? But finally I said there was things I wanted to do was learn Garba singing, right? I love to sing. So I wanted to learn Garba singing. So I started learning from a Garba singer in Mumbai who was also in lockdown. So he taught me about 35. I learned about 35 Gujarati songs, Dolly. So this year, Garba, come on. I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Hello. Yes. I loved it. And it's such a beautiful, language, and they sing for Krishna. And it was beautiful learning the songs. And I still want to continue that. I did, I'm putzing around keyboard. I'm learning, but I'm still very, very, junior in learning keyboard. And like Venky said, radio took to a whole global level now, because we're online now and we have grandpas and grandparents looking at their kids perform on radio. And it gives me immense happiness when grandparents message me and say, thank you so much. You created a platform for us to look at our grandkids when we couldn't, right? So I love that. And then, of course, TV anchoring. I've never done TV, and that was like one in my bucket list. I thought I may or may not. So thank you to IndusTV and VJG for asking me to come and start anchoring their TV shows. So I got to do that. So it's been exciting. Now, I don't miss people too much. I think I got used to it. Like Dolly was saying, the new norm, kind of got used to the new norm. I like that I have time to do everything that I've picked up now. So I'm busy, but I'm doing it at home.
That's awesome. I do have to say I did host a Garba in my new backyard.
So yeah, now that 2020 is behind us, or we think is behind us. I know Venky had the mask first, but we're still in a kind of lockdown, but 2021 promises hope. So Dolly, I'm going to ask you, what are you planning for 2021?
Well, I think the first thing on everybody's mind is to get vaccinated, right? I got registered this week. The site went up this week, and I know it's going to be a long wait, but it seems like it'll still be a while before things go back to normal. We'll still be living this way for a while, but it's still continuing with this new normal for now. I have decided that I'm going to take my cloud certification. So I'm studying for that. And the presidency is going to change. So there's changes that are going to occur because of the date itself. But other than that, I think like I just woke up and I felt like, okay, we're still in this phase. Continuing with my health goals, of course, and just paying my bills. I am really itching to travel though and see my friends again. So I'm hoping that towards the end of the year, that I can get all that kind of stuff done. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting back and, looking at stocks. Stocks were really, really good. There were some really good ones that split, IPOs. So, I'm thinking about where to invest and just a lot of time to do things.
So, Dolly was talking about the fact that she's itching to travel. So there's a professor from Yale, I don't recall his name right now, who's written a book and apparently said that the effects of the pandemic will continue till 2022. But after that, people are going to go berserk on a few things. One is travel. The other thing is promiscuity. That people have been locked up, stuck in their apartment so long. And people are going to be partying, traveling, and doing God's good deed for like crazy after this whole pandemic.
Professor Toy. I think his name is Professor Toy.
Well, no, I will Google it. I'll let you know. Okay.
So what about you, Toy? What are you planning for 2021? What are your grand plans?
So as I said, in 2020, being married to this chair, you also put on a quite a bit. This used to be a big and tall chair, and now it's kind of filling out. So the first thing in 2021 is to lose 21 pounds in 2021.
Okay.
That's the first goal, okay? And if that happens, which I'm not like really sure about it because it requires a lot of effort, and I need my mishti at the end of the day, So at the end of it, though, I also decided that on a mental level, this may sound easy when you say it, but it actually can be very difficult. And that's just being nice in 2021. It's easier said than done, because sometimes you snap at people, you blame others for your own failure, you be revengeful, etc. So I'm going to try and make a concerted effort to be nice.
Are you revengeful?
Well, even if you aren't externally, in your mind, you think that, Usha, I can't stand. Anyway, sorry. But jokes apart.
Oh my God, did we know this about him?
It's like that. Well, I'm a scorpion, so it's there somewhere, So.
Oh, dhasta hai.
No, they do it with the tail, the other end. No, but the thing is, and more you carry emotional baggage like this, it comes to haunt you in the future. So it's more like that, like I was saying, like the Black Eyed Peas song, be nice, be different, be nice. So it's very simple, but it's going to be easier said than done.
Interesting. I can't think of you being revengeful, or I have to say, I mean, I've worked with you for quite a few years. You are a challenge to handle when we've done our shows, but you've always been kind and nice. I've never seen you, otherwise. So interesting if you're thinking revengeful. Is that a double personality that I did not know about?
Who, me?
Huh.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Okay. I know. So let's go to Venky. Venky, what about you? Now that you've accomplished quite a bit in 2020 and you've had a pivotal direction in your career, what are you thinking of 2021?
2021 is going to be a little bit of carry forward from 2020, right? So we're still continuing the lockdown. We're still continuing to wear masks. We're still continuing to do remote work from home. And I think that will continue at least for 6 months or 8 months more through 2021. So you're looking at pretty much getting into the last quarter of the year before you can really get out and mingle and travel and do all that stuff. For me, I think what worked in 2020, I will carry forward in 2021 and onwards. I have set some goals. I did pretty well in my new career in the last 3 months of last year, which was the first 3 months of my new job. I performed fairly well, and I want to carry that momentum into 2021, continue the good performance, and scale bigger, heights, and hit some targets and goals. So the thing is, all of these years in the past, I would typically set a goal for the year and end up not achieving the goal most of the times. But this year is not going to be like that. And I have not, again, I say that very consciously, I have not set any resolution. Okay, there is no New Year resolution. All I
Awesome.
want to do is set up monthly goals and make sure I track weekly towards those monthly goals. And at the end of the month, if I hit that month's goal, I'm happy, right? And then I go ahead and set up the next month's goal. So that's how I'm going to take this year.
Venky is sounding like a sales manager. Did you do this week's and the next week's and then this month?
Yeah, monthly goals, and he's got he's got a chart in front of him. That's good though. You know what I like about that is having no resolutions, because I think many people set up resolution and you're looking at a broader span range, right? Having it for the whole year. I'm not going to go into philosophy here, but short-term goal definitely helps. So that's interesting.
So my big goal actually is to put my trash can out the day before trash day. I swear, I will be like working and I hear the trash truck come, or I'll be working out and I'm looking out the window and, I run out the door like this crazy, hair up in this crazy bun. I'll be in shorts. I'll be in my house slippers. And I swear people have like their cameras ready on trash day. Like, she's gonna run out and she's gonna look idiotic. But I'm like barefoot even sometimes. I'm dragging this trash can out, and sometimes I miss it because the trash can went past my door. So I have to go to the neighbors across the trash can there and just wait and hope that it gets picked up, right? So that's my goal. Get my trash out on time.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I actually went through that once when my husband went on vacation. I literally ran behind the truck because it was like I'd missed 3 of his runs, his trash. So I was like, shit, my house is smelling. I was like, please come back.
Right. And I'm actually hoping that the city has a resolution to do recycling pickup every week.
Like Venky and you always saying, I don't have really resolutions, but I do have a few short-term goals. And my main thing would be, my vision at least for 2021 would be to see events come back. I miss not being in events, seeing people get married and those happy anniversaries and milestones and kids' birthdays, playing with the kids. All that was so much positive energy. I used to actually, feel happier with that. So I'm hoping to some level, maybe in after summer, maybe we'll see some events come through that we can enjoy, outdoor events. That's my main thing. I'm hoping I'll get to do some events. And of course, Garba. I would love to be in a Garba show and sing a few of the songs that I've learned last year. And then I want to see #Showbiz grow. I want to see #Showbiz take it to the next level, be there for the community, be there as a household word. So I'd love to see that happen. So I'll do what I can, from an effort perspective to learn it. It's a whole tactic. So I'm super excited to be doing that. And then I have, don't laugh, okay? I have 2 Fs that I need to accomplish this year. Toy. I was waiting for toys. Okay, I'm talking about, it's not adult rated, okay, toy? You can remove. It's 2 F. It's one food, a new food and a new friend every month. I want to explore, since I can't travel, I want to explore food. I want to explore a new food that I've never tried between all these multi cuisines that we have. And I want to find a new friend, I mean, acquaintance, get to increase my network, in life. So that's my goal. So 12 friends in a year, it's not too bad. And 12 cuisines. See, it was, you couldn't expect anything more from me, Toy.
You know, Usha, you mentioned this
क्या
about.
मुंह पे गया तेरा, huh?
Now, I hope it's caught on camera, you know. So it's like when you said two Fs, you know. But so I'll speak here. So, you know, Usha, when you told us like, you know, what are you going to do about New Year's and stuff and resolutions, I was trying to look up about what other people have been wishing, and I came up with these really crazy resolutions which others have put out there on social media, and I'm just going to
Let's
share with
hear it.
everyone.
Let's hear it.
One guy said, "I'm going to turn off Tinder and try to talk to those people in real life."
Oh,
Not really
okay.
happening in the
That's a good
pandemic.
one.
All right. And this one's from a real loser. He says that I'm going to find someone to kiss besides my dog. All right.
Oh,
I feel sorry for them. But anyway.
how can you
Right.
call him a loser?
All right. And then there's this one which said, I'm going to collect air sickness bags from every airline. Now, I remember as a kid, you know, I'd also go to the toilets of every airline and look inside, check the bathroom, check what's kept, how the napkins are stored. And so there's someone else like me out there. I'm seeing over there, right?
Toy, if you and I were classmates, my mom and dad would be so angry with me because you would get me in trouble every single day.
I'd be like the type of guy your parents warned you about, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, totally. You got it.
It's like the Taylor Swift song, you know, I knew trouble when you walked in.
Okay, are you going to sing it?
No,
He tried.
right, but I don't know how to come up with it.
I do want to backtrack a little bit, Usha. There was something that we missed because it didn't affect any of us per se, but you said you wanted to do events again. And I think of all of those people that had to reschedule their weddings. And yeah, that was such a huge thing, right? Like I know I had a few people that were going to get married and they all had to put it on hold. And I feel so horrible for them. But some people did proceed. And I think one of the things that we learned is Indian weddings do not have to be this huge production, that you can have like this small wedding and it still is going to be like something fabulous, because the main thing is that you're united with your partner.
Tell me about it. I think and that's a good point. All the Desis understood that you don't need to have 500, 600 people at a wedding. They actually understood, let me choose the 50 people. And they chose that 50 people real carefully. The people really
A
care.
lot of people also learned that, as against having 50 people at a wedding, and you don't need to have a humongous wedding. A lot of people also learned they don't need to have a wedding.
Yes, that too.
And there were some penny pinchers whom I know who, even when the pandemic wasn't around, they wouldn't invite, you know, everyone. They'd like choose whom to call. And now in the pandemic, if they had a second son or daughter, they did it online and said, "Oh, you can just, here's the link." So no food, you know. So you also send the present online, you know.
Actually,
Hey, what about
there was a family in Chennai.
Uh-huh.
They conducted a wedding, and all the people that were invited for the wedding were watching it on Zoom, and they sent food to their homes.
Oh, yes, I read about that.
The
And it was
wedding
actually a
food,
very elaborate affair, you know.
including the plantain leaf,
Impressive.
to put it on and eat. Everything was sent to everybody's homes.
I bet you that still costs a lot less though.
It did, yeah, cost less, yeah, because you weren't paying for the whole, wedding hall, the lights and the decorations, and all the associated paraphernalia.
So they use
and you can keep the
Hello
food in
Fresh.
the fridge, you know, so it works both ways.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't catch that?
Interesting.
Did I say it
No,
again?
I was saying they use like Hello Fresh or Blue Apron and they send all the food to people. That's pretty creative. That's
Yeah, this was a proper South Indian meal with 32 items put in small containers, and the whole thing was put in a bamboo basket, and the baskets were door delivered by the local courier service.
The good thing, Venky, is even then you can also put the leftovers in the fridge and eat them the next day. Unlike a wedding where you don't eat, you just go away.
Yep.
So it's like full utility, you know.
Hey, but you don't get double laddus or desserts because you would.
That's true.
You know, I had a friend in his cousin's wedding. He was actually caught in video eating once, and then the video later on in the video he's sitting somewhere else and eating again. So that doesn't happen too.
See, you can't do that, unfortunately.
You know that, right?
So what about divorces? I heard the divorce rate went up too during the pandemic.
Yeah, people couldn't stand each other in the same house, locked in for too long.
Yep.
I think
And
it was
a lot of
the
battery. There was also a lot of battery. I mean, because they couldn't go anywhere, and they didn't have a friend at work to take it out on or talk to them about or bitch about the spouse. They just took it out each other. There's a lot of domestic violence which went up in
Yes.
the pandemic,
Yeah,
which is
That's
pretty sad. It's probably a decision they were pushing back for a long time, and then things matters came to a head. That's right. See this scars on my face right now?
Oh man, is that what that is? Good
Yeah.
for you. I'm really proud of your wife.
Earlier, I saw that your shirt was also torn a little bit, so you wore the jacket to cover it up.
jacket, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
man.
sure it had to be very hard because people had to wake up the next day and share responsibilities or allocate new responsibilities, right? Like, hey, we all have to work in the same house. Who's going to take care of the kids while we work because daycares were shut down? So I'm sure it caused like a lot of heat between couples, like who's going to do what at what time. But I think everybody eventually got used to it, not without frustrations.
Mhm.
I'm sure everybody usually, comes out okay and stronger, if anything.
And actually, Dolly, some of us discovered an unknown part. Like I discovered I enjoy cooking, of course, providing that no one else is in the kitchen. But I enjoy cooking, and I get very. It's a creative process in the end of the day,
Is
right?
it edible? Is it edible, first of all?
And you don't need life insurance. It's pretty decent. No, I used to actually post it on Facebook. I was so like proud of what I was doing, but I would like decorate it well. So it's like a new thing, but it's a new skill you learn. It's one of those new skills you learn during the lockdown. So you know who actually enjoyed the lockdown the most, more than kids, because kids once they're teenagers want to go out and meet their friends. It's actually pets.
Yes.
Pets
Yeah.
were having a field day. We have a big dog, as you know, and she was like didn't know. She's so used to people not being there, and
Right.
out in the car. She was being super active. She's getting more, patta or more, recognition from people at home. And
Yeah.
of course, when you're locked in the same space and you're fighting, maybe the husband, the wife, or the son or the father are not speaking to each other, but everyone's going for the dog because that's where the tension is released.
Oh,
And in our house, we have my son works from the top floor, I work in the basement, and during lunchtime, we all go and fix our own lunch, right? And when you've been sitting all day and then you start walking around, you've got all gaseous and stuff like that, right? And you start walking around and you're trumpeting all over the place, right? And your wife is on a conference call, on a Zoom call. And what happens is, you're out there in the kitchen and you're both of you, your son, you're both like, trumpeting away from your rear end. And suddenly she's on a conference call, and on Zoom, when you're speaking, your picture pops up, right? And we are farting in the kitchen, and suddenly her picture pops up. And she said, "Now people are thinking I'm doing it." So there are problems which happen, if you are all in the same space working. I mean,
so much fun talking to you guys. But this is #Showbiz. I have to talk to you about a show or a movie that you loved in 2020. I know there were many, but if I asked you to pick one or two, what would you pick? Dolly, let me know what you think.
Okay, so the long-awaited one for me was the next season of Four More Shots, Please. I love, love, love that on Amazon Prime. This is not marketing for Amazon. It is absolutely the show. I absolutely love that show. And it's so quick to watch through that you binge watch it, right?
Yeah.
You can allow me to say like 3 or 4 shows, right? Because I can't just say 2. The other one that came out was Emily in Paris. That was a really, really fun show. It was very quick to watch as well. And then for the Indian series, I did not love Bollywood Wives. I started it, but did not love it. It was kind of entertainment, but just a little bit too scripted for me. And
did you see my review on it?
What's that?
Did you see my review on it, on the Bollywood Wives?
And you were so spot on. The one that I did watch all the way through because I found it funny was the one with Seema Auntie. Was it called Indian Matchmaking?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God. It was so hilarious. It was just funny to see all the people involved and how much they were involved. And even though it was scripted pretty much, it was still very, very funny. And then the season ended with the best series ever. I loved it a lot. Bridgerton.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was an amazing, amazing series. I don't see the guys like going, yay! It was more like of a chick flick series. But I think everybody can sit down and, well, not everybody, not the little kids, but I think the adults can all sit and enjoy it together because there's so much that you can relate the way that whole series took place to the way the culture of India is, right? Like all the moms and wedding season, and the girl has her place in the kitchen and all the etiquette, and this is what a guy has to do. Dad dies and son has to take over and be in charge of the family. Just there were so many parallels that like,
and produce a son.
What's that?
So important, producing a son.
Yeah, you must have a son, you know, and daughters, the dowry. I was like, wow, you know, there was the dowry and there were so many parallels that you can be like, wow, you know, this is so spot on for us, except this was like colonial times almost for them.
Right.
They're talking about queens and all that kind of stuff. And we are still living that.
Right. Awesome.
Great series.
I knew Dolly would go more than 2 because knowing her, she's avid. She loves to watch these and she actually posts her reviews as well. So good ones. So let's talk about the movies and web shows with Venky. Venky, what did you like?
Okay, yeah. So 2020 was a year where we ended up seeing a lot of stuff. But to me, a couple of web series that I kind of liked. One was Downton Abbey, and the other was The Crown. Both British, both medieval, very very well made, very high production values, very well performed, acted by all the artists. I thought both were outstanding. Okay, The Crown was phenomenal. And I ended the year watching The Queen's Gambit.
Yes.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Now, movie perspective, Indian movie, I liked Gunjan Saxena, the Cardigan Girl.
Yes.
Very good.
Toy, what about you?
Well, in terms of movies, I kind of liked Extraction, which I saw last year. I do believe it was produced last year. Pretty good movie, great production, and I quite like the fact that they went to India and Bangladesh and countries like that and got local talent to do the local roles. Pretty impressive, and the action in the movie was pretty gripping too. As far as web series goes, I'm a bit of a Kaleen Bhai fan. If you know the Mirzapur people out there, Mirzapur is so raw, so unfiltered, and it's so direct. I was like waiting for season 2 of Mirzapur to come out, and the day it came out, I kind of binge watched it within a week, and the Mr. Tripathi does a phenomenal job. So I was just waiting for Mirzapur to happen. And apart from that, this is a little old, but I actually caught up on stuff like Crown and Designated Survivor is my new favorite, and I've been watching it. It's pretty well made. It's very well made. But yeah, Mirzapur is the raw thing that I was like looking forward to this year, and it I can't say disappointed. Although some people said the original was better, but I think the part 2 was not bad either. It's a different direction altogether.
Well, #showbiz actually forced me to watch movies as well as web series. In the beginning, I think there were not many movies, right? For obvious reasons. So I did catch up on Avengers. I've been wanting to, watch all of the series. So I tried to do a little bit of Marvel binge watch for the movies. And then the web series started coming. One of the web series that I'm really impacted and I absolutely love it. It's like a Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I just look at her, the strength that she got from within, right? And she goes out there and does stand-up comedy, which is not easy. It's a men's space, So for me, when I look at it as an MC, when I go in as there's not many women, right, that go out there. So for me, it was really good. It actually gives me a lot of inspiration. So I watched her, and I would probably watch that a few times because I'm just totally inspired by her. Amazing, amazing show. And then the other one was actually, I was looking at some of the mythology web series, and Asur, if you have watched it, Asur got me because I was getting deep into the mythology in it. So I absolutely loved that one as well. And then, of course, I had to watch The Crown. I haven't completed it. I'm still on season 3, but I'm trying to get on that because we've grown up knowing about the Queen and the British and everything. So it's really empowering to sit down and watch it and see, oh my God, this was a story. And then when you see Mountbatten, you're like, oh my God, this is Mountbatten, that kind of stuff. So I love it. So I've been watching Crown as well. And one show that really hit me again was Ashram, where it's a Guruji or a Babaji, trying to loot people in India, and which is a sad story even today, right? There's so many phony people, I should say. I'm not going to put a blanket on everybody. There are definitely some people that try to promote religious cultures for the right reasons, but there's definitely a lot more who are phony. So I like the way they took the strength to actually show ashram as cultural. If you haven't seen it, catch it because it really shocks you in some of the scenes. It was good. Guys, it was so much fun chatting with you guys. It's always fun. And you two hooligans were getting together, but we got Dolly together here too today, and it was so much fun. I can't wait to see you guys together in person. We have to definitely do that. And Toy, we're going to take you to a theater and get to watch a movie as well. And I'll buy you popcorn, okay? So you can
and I'll behave myself.
Awesome. So it was so much fun, guys, and coming on #Showbiz and entertaining our people, letting people know what your goals and resolutions could be for 2021. Let's come at the end of the year or maybe next year and see how we did in this year. But for all the viewers on #Showbiz now, we would love to know what your goals and resolutions are as well for 2021. And let's see if we can help you make it happen as well. So thank you, Venky, Toy, and Dolly. It was wonderful to be here.
Thank you, Usha.
Thank
Thanks a lot
you.
for having
Thank
us.
you for having us.
So, guys, this was our show on goals and resolutions for 2021. And would love to know what your goals and resolutions for 2021 are also. As I always say, please subscribe on the IndusTV channel on YouTube. And you know what to do on the bell icon. Adios, and I will see you soon with a brand new episode. Ta-da, bye-bye. This is #Showbiz with me, Usha. What happens here definitely does not stay here, comes right back to you. Thank you.